Hello everyone and welcome back to World of Warships. And today we're going to take a look at a Tier 6 American battleship. It is the USS Arizona. And I actually had two different battles for you today because this ship is just that fun. I've gotten a lot of amazing matches in this thing. So I actually got this ship completely for free with the Verizon partnership with World Warships. And honestly, if you are a Verizon member, like you get a lot of different perks and benefits for being a Verizon member, and that's really cool for me. So anyway, I wanted to play the Arizona because I got it for free, so let's use it. But also, because I was trying to go through all the tier 5s at the same time, and I didn't want to progress to tier 6 until I had all of the tier 5s completed, that meant that my only tier 6 ship, or really anything higher than Tier 5, was the USS Arizona. And I really wanted to try to work on the ZF-6 missions. Most of those missions I wanted to do with battleships just because I, I seem to get the best games with battleships overall. Just because, you know, at this lower tier, they are still very tanky. They can take a lot of punishment, a lot of punishment. And all the cruisers at this tier have citadels the size of Texas. They have massive citadels. So I love playing at this tier because I actually get pretty consistent damage. Like, look at that. That Dallas, two citadels on him. I mean, I know he was sailing broadside, but that's another benefit, right? At this lower tier, you get people that really just don't think a whole lot, and they'll sail broadside and give you full citadel penetration. So, yeah, we absolutely obliterate that Dallas at the start of the game. I actually felt kind of sad about it because like that was a lot of damage. Getting two citadels, yeah, that's very painful. We're gonna shoot this Königsberg as well. I didn't quite get a citadel, but I aimed a little bit too low there. But anyway, I've been playing the Arizona a bit to get those missions done for the ZF6. But I also got the New Mexico in that amount of time, and I started playing the New Mexico a little bit. The Arizona, as far as I can tell, reloads slightly faster, and the guns to me feel much more accurate. Like I can land hits that I need to hit a lot more consistently with the Arizona. But also the gun angles on the turrets, the 3 and 4 turret, I mean, it still isn't great, I don't think. But it's a heck of a lot better than the New Mexico, where you almost have to go full broadside in the New Mexico just to get your 4 turrets firing at the same time. And if you guys have played the New Mexico, that thing can be fun, but you get citadeled a lot. Like, if someone sees your side, you're just going to take a ton of punishment. Whereas the Arizona, I don't have that problem, and I don't really know why. Uh, I can go broadside on targets, and I'll take a lot of damage if a battleship is shooting at me, but I won't get citadeled often. I mean, it still happens, but not nearly to the same extent that the New Mexico occurs. I can be extremely aggressive in the Arizona. Even in tier 8 matches, I've been aggressive against like North Carolinas and stuff and won my duels with North Carolinas. Like the New Mexico, I would never be able to do that. So yes, the Arizona is slow, but my word, it is just a very fun ship. It's got accurate guns, they hit really hard, it's very consistent, and for all intents and purposes, this is a very fun ship. I mean, granted, the only other Tier 6 battleship that I have played thus far is the New Mexico. And there are a lot of similarities between the New Mexico, but honestly, I much prefer the Arizona. I mean, maybe I just haven't played the New Mexico enough, but the Arizona is just fun. And for being a free ship that I got, you know, I can't complain. It's extremely fun. So anyway, let's get back to this battle. We have gotten 19 hits so far with 3 citadels, already absolutely ruined 2 of their cruisers. Looks like our team killed another one, but out of the 3 ships that are dead, I walloped 2 of them. Uh, so that's pretty impressive, you know. I mean, at that point, 58,000 damage, and I basically wiped out 2 of their cruisers solo. I mean, I've contributed, right? So if I was to die right now, I've made an impact in the battle. I've killed basically 2 ships for the price of just mine. So, and I've done my job, right? So by obliterating their cruisers, our destroyer is going to be a little bit better. I mean, obviously there's still 2 more cruisers, so I would like to continue living so that I could do even more damage. But look at that, 6 penetrations, 3 overpens on that Britain, and like, my goodness, that is consistent damage. That was no citadels, but because the guns are accurate, you can land those type of hits, and it's just incredible. But now we're going to fight this New Mexico. He's sailing broadside, which is pretty stupid of him. And, I mean, I have some allied support, but look how far back my allies are. We've got 3 guys, or 2 guys chilling back by with the carrier, which I've already got Confederate, by the way, which usually you don't get till near the end of the game. I've already gotten Confederate. But anyway, we've got 2 guys chilling back by the carrier, which is kind of ridiculous. They really should not be that far back. It's a destroyer, for crying out loud. The destroyer should not be behind Allied lines, which is pretty ridiculous. The other battleship on the flank is doing pretty good, but the battleship by the carrier, he's not doing okay. And then on my flank, I've got cruisers and battleships way behind me, which, you know, I get it because they can probably shoot. They probably have range on these guys. But at the same time, like, your guns are going to take forever to reach there, and you don't have very good angles to shoot at people. You're not really being that effective. At this lower tier, I want to try to get close to the enemy because more shots will land. I'm taking a lot of damage right now. I really don't want to be here, but 17,000 damage. That is so good. That damage output is so good. So good. One other thing I forgot to mention, I do have a commander on here that gives me an extra consumable. And I felt like that was important because even though I had 4 heals, I've had a lot of matches where I could have done more if I had 1 more heal. Um, so I wanted to get an extra heal. And I have signal flags that increase the amount of health that I recover with the damage control party, or you know, the healing ability. So I actually heal a pretty significant portion of my health with every heal, which is really good. So now I've put this island between me and the battleship. I've wiped out their other battleship. So now, if I can kill this Königsberg, I'll be sitting pretty good. So of course we kill the Königsberg with the with the Citadel. We got high caliber and devastating strike. Already 5 achievements this battle. High caliber and Confederate, and there's still 5 ships on the enemy team. This battle is not over yet, but we've already contributed 130,000 damage. Like, that's really good for a tier 6 battleship. It's very good. But that's the thing. I can consistently get a minimum of 80,000 damage in this ship. Just because the guns are so precise, and the combination of it not getting citadel that much with a great healing ability, and just the ability to tank hits, you know? So I've used up 3 of my heals now. I don't have a lot of health, but if I just play it chill, so now you see I kind of went behind my allied front for a little bit. I want to wait at least that minute 10 seconds. That way I can get another heal ready. So if I do take damage, I can start healing immediately. Because I don't have a ton of health remaining. But I do have 2 more heals, which is great because I absolutely could use both of those heals this battle, honestly. So we're going to try to cap. We're still down on points, but if we take this cap, at least we'll be even on points. We are up on 1 ship as well. The Molotov, is that a tier 6 or tier 5? I'm not really sure, to be honest. I know it's Russian, but I don't know beyond that. Are we going to get another Citadel? Yep, another Citadel. This thing really does feel absolutely amazing for dealing with cruisers. Because of that accuracy, you can pinpoint your shots and just devastate enemy ships. It's a lot of fun. Really, really enjoy the ship. So, I mean, this is really the only tier 6 I've played so far. So it's very possible that I might find another battleship that I like as much or better. But my word, I'm so happy I got this ship for free because it is just so much fun. 3 hits, 10,000 damage. Like, I do not get that kind of consistency on the New Mexico. Absolutely not. If this match was played with the New Mexico, I will promise you that I would not have a match like this. Took some damage. I don't want to lose too much health. I have 1 more heal, so I want to use my heal now. I know it's not the full damage, but I don't want to take any more damage than this. I want to have that heal going. That way, if I take more damage, I'll have stuff to actually heal. So, and also, I don't want someone to just land a lucky hit and wipe me out because I'm low health. So I'm going to use my heal now. I don't know if it's the best time to use it, but I think it was a good time to use it. We don't quite kill the Bayern. The island was kind of preventing me from hitting where I wanted to. This New York, he's not incompetent like the other guys. He's sailing kind of away from me. So I won't be able to get that nice flat broadside damage like I could to the other guys, which kind of sucks. But this battle is absolutely not won yet. And now I've got a carrier to deal with. The New York, I really should not chase this New York because he's just sailing away from me and he's going to take me out. Like, anytime that you're charging a battleship that's sailing away from you, the battleship that's sailing away from you has a substantial benefit over you. A substantial advantage. I don't really want to go in the channel though, because now we have a Bayern and a destroyer in there, and we have a carrier right here. So I'm in a very bad situation right now. I really want to Citadel this Ryujo. Ryujo? I really want to Citadel him because Citadeling him will wipe him out. But I have high explosive loaded, and I think I may have missed it, but I think the reason I had high explosive loaded was because I had fired either 1 or 2 volleys at him earlier with AP, and the AP just simply overpenned him. And now, oh, disaster. We've got the German Tier 6 destroyer, the Guide, I don't know. He's charging us. I have high explosive loaded. Massive damage to him, but I'm taking hits from the carrier. I know that destroyer just shot torpedoes at me. Here comes the torpedoes. And, ooh, not dead. Oh, here comes the Ryujo again. I am just getting absolutely attacked. And again, look at where my team is. I got a battleship, but he's not really with me. He's not supporting. Got a cruiser. He's really not in a position to support. The destroyer was sitting behind me. And just, oh, I just couldn't do it. I could not do it. If I had citadeled that carrier and wiped him out, this may have gone a little bit better, because then my team would only have to deal with a destroyer and a battleship. But I don't think it's going to be the case. If that New York had played a little bit dumber as well and let me hit his broadside, I still could have won. There's a couple different things that if the enemy was just a little bit dumber at the end, or even just come at me one-on-one, I may have been able to take this one down, but I don't think it's to be this battle. I think the destroyer is going to go down, which is great, and then we'll have 4 to 2 ships, but We are taking 2 of their caps, which is great. We have 5 minutes remaining. I would like to take that last cap as well, but our what is it? French tier 6 destroyers not looking too healthy. Their carrier is not playing dumb, which is really annoying. Um, our carrier is, or their carrier rather, was doing a lot of work against me. I mean, if that carrier was not as aggressive towards me, I may have been able to do a little bit more. There's a lot of different things that could have happened. If I'd killed that Bayern before he got around the island, you know, and wow, wow, that New York actually killed the other New York from the front. But honestly, this New York right here, he was about as useless as you can get. I don't know if he's the one that got 1 kill or 2 kill, or 1 kill or 0 kills, but in either case, he really was not doing a whole lot for the team anyway. He's was being just about as useless as he can, and of course the carrier wipes out the other one. So this is really not looking that great. I'm really disappointed so far, and at this point, I really don't think the battle's gonna end in our favor. Like, I just don't. I was really disappointed because if I had Citadel that carrier, this may have had a different outcome, honestly. There's a lot of different things right at the end. The ending was the crappy part. Oh, although, if we think about it, what other things could I have done better? Instead of just saying, well, the enemy team played better than us at the end, what could I have done better to make a difference? Well, I think what I could have done better actually is at the start of the battle. So yeah, I went over to that area, that upper like C4 area, which I think is correct. I think that's a good area to go. I got a lot of damage, obviously, and I was very impactful in the battle. However, oh, there, he's gone now too. However, I took a lot of damage before I could get to the island that I wanted to at C4. So, either I don't really think I would have wanted to stay back any longer, but I should have made sure that I got to that island and prevented as many of their ships from shooting at me as possible and make it more of a one-on-one engagement with like the cruiser or something like that. All right, and here is the second battle. So this one is a tier 6 battle. I think the last one was a tier 6 battle as well. But yeah, that last match, I mean, if I had gone to that island earlier, oh, it's actually the same map, which is pretty funny. I think it's the same map anyway. This map I actually do kind of like because the islands are spread out enough uh, that you can make use of them, and they're not all just right in the dead center. So I hate when islands are all right in the middle because it's like, well, do you want to go to the island in the middle and actually have cover, or do you want to go on the outside and not have islands to support you, but that way you're not right next to the enemy? It's kind of gross. Um, but this one at least has enough island cover. But yeah, if I'd gone there and just reduced the amount of damage that I was taking from um, them early on, then I might have been able to do a little bit more. Because then I may have had a little bit more health later on. Granted, my healing restored a lot of that damage, so I don't know if it would have made that much difference. But in either case, so we got the same map, same tier. We're still doing tier 6. Blah 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 blah. You know, all that sort of stuff. But we're gonna go to the south side this time, and let's see if we can get that same kind of RNG that we did the first match. I don't think this battle is quite as good as the other one, because that other one really was just a lot of fun, and replicating that kind of damage is pretty difficult. But for now, we're just going to start sailing. Put up a spotter plane, just see if we can get this cruiser hit, because every time I see a cruiser at this tier, I really try to focus on the cruisers more than anything else, even more so than destroyers and stuff. Unless the destroyer is being obviously stupid, then I'll focus on the destroyer. But yeah, there you go. Citadel. This thing prints citadels from cruisers, and that's part of the reason that this ship is just so much fun. You can be so impactful. I mean, it already wiped out half of that ship right from the start. So I've already contributed half of what I need to for this game to really feel like I made an impact, right? Because that cruiser is one of their ships, you know? And a cruiser can be very, very mean to destroyers or to battleships even, you know? So to do that kind of damage to them. Oh, looking good. Oh, and two more citadels. Oh, this ship is just amazing. I mean, I know he was sailing broadside and slow, but you get that a lot at this tier, and it's very nice. We just lost 11,000 health. So, I mean, you do take damage, but you don't take citadel damage that often. And as long as you're careful, your heals can kind of keep you in the battle for as long as you need to, and you don't have to be at the back of the map. So anyway, I don't want to sit by these guys anymore. They're just going to start shooting at me, and I'm just going to die. There's a lot of ships over there, a lot of ships. I need to make sure that I'm in a position to deal with them, but also reduce the amount of incoming fire that's coming at me as well. So to do that, we're going to go back behind this island a bit, and we're going to try to shoot at opportunistic shots. This Bayern is sailing broadside, but he's turning in. No, he's not turning in. But I guess I want to go for the New York. I think the New York was probably giving a little bit more broadside, but the New York turns in a little bit, so this might not be a ton of damage. Yeah, 4,000. I mean, that's a respectable amount. That was only one pen and one overpen, but, you know, that's still good damage. The really big important stuff is I really want to take out their cruisers, because cruisers have big citadels. Wiping out the cruisers early game means that it just gives your team so much more of an advantage to continue. So he's behind that island, but I think my shots can lob over it. So let's see. Oh, yep, they did. No citadels, though. A little bit unfortunate. I think he was probably a little bit too angled, or he may have moved a little bit too much. Either case, that's still good damage. Any damage on cruisers at this tier generally is a good idea, just because they don't have a ton of health in terms of battleship HP. And because their citadels are so big, you know, any kind of damage, you can just wipe them out. And most of them don't have heals. At this tier, most of the cruisers don't have heals, so any kind of damage on them is permanent, whereas damage on battleships is not always permanent. So we are down 2 to 4 right now. Ugh. They've got 3 caps, and there's no way I can push into these guys right now. There's absolutely no way. Pushing into them right now is just asking to die. But maybe I can wipe out the cruisers, because wiping out the cruisers, I'm reducing fire spam, I'm reducing just incoming fire consistently, whereas battleships don't fire that often. Whoop, there we go. There's a Citadel pen, so that's one more cruiser down. They're down to one more cruiser, and their other cruiser is on this flank. So if that cruiser ever makes himself available, I will wipe him out. But isn't it kind of interesting that the first ships dead on each team is most often cruisers at this tier? Most often. Destroyers can die pretty fast too, but cruisers just die so fast. And I think that's kind of a good thing, right? Because cruisers have a lot of potential to be very strong, especially against destroyers. And later game, they have the speed advantage over battleships to take what they need to take. But they have that good, consistent damage from their guns. So, I mean, I've played cruisers a lot this weekend because I wanted to get that ZF6 done, and I needed to get 3.1 million damage in battleships, which I did a lot of it in the Arizona. But I also needed to do 2.25 million damage in cruisers. So I've been playing a lot of cruisers at tier 5, which they have massive citadels. But I found the best way to use cruisers at this tier is not to be aggressive. I usually stay almost as far back as I possibly can at the start and just during the start. So I kind of sit near the middle of the map, but as far back as possible, and just kind of see where enemies start going, and I find opportunities. So where the enemy starts pushing the hardest, that's the flank that I often go to, and I find an island that reduces the amount of incoming fire from the enemy team, but also make sure that there's allies in front of me, because I want the allies to be taking damage and not me, because, you know, just one hit from a battleship and you could lose almost all of your health. So, sitting kind of far back and just support the battleships. And if I see battleships that come charging, then I'll launch torpedoes at them. And I've actually had some pretty good success with it. I mean, nothing too crazy, but I was averaging maybe 50 to 60,000 damage in cruisers, which for cruisers I think that's a pretty good amount, because you're often dealing damage to other cruisers and destroyers. So 50,000 damage, that's twice your hit points, and I think that's pretty decent. And yeah, Arizona, you're just dealing with other battleships, so you're getting a little bit higher damage per battle. But New York, he's angled pretty well, but maybe I can still get some damage. I'm going to keep kiting away because, you know, pushing forward just doesn't sound like a super great idea right now. I want to kind of stay back and just whittle down the storm. I had HE loaded. I kind of wish I would have had AP loaded for this salvo. Do set a fire and do a massive amount of damage. I don't know if he has a damage con anymore, though. Whereas AP, I think, would have killed him. I think AP would have killed him because he was sailing broadside, and that healing would not have happened. So, kind of a misplay, because now you got to do that same amount of damage that I just did to him all over again. Actually, more of it now. So, kind of a misplay on my part. But someone else helped a little bit, so I think the salvo will take him out. We are definitely down on ships, though. But it doesn't matter. We took him out. I have 2 heals left, and I know for a fact that that amount of healing is not the maximum amount that I could heal. So I'm not going to heal yet. It's not time. And I still have 2 heals, so I think it's good. Okay, now I will, because that was mostly HE damage. So all the damage he just did to me was basically healable. So I will heal that. There's the Dallas. There's the Dallas. I really want to take out their cruiser, because we all know, let's all say it together, cruisers at this tier have massive citadels. So targeting the Dallas is my top priority. Also, not only for that reason, but that thing fires a lot of HE. But man, there's another destroyer as well. But that Dallas, I'm a battleship, and that Dallas is a cruiser. Battleships destroy cruisers. So that's who I'm going to target. We're going to fire at him, and he's doing a very predictable pattern. He's got islands on both sides of him. He's going backwards. He wants to get away, and boom! Double citadels. There's a Kraken unleashed. Oh my word. Yeah, this thing, that's why I target cruisers. Even when there's other opportunistic shots, if a cruiser's giving me a decent enough chance of hitting them, you better believe I'm going to target that cruiser. Because of stuff like that. Because now I've just wiped out an entire ship. Like, from 100% health down to nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's exactly what you want to see. We're still behind on ships, though, and they have 2 destroyers. But really, I just need to... I want to take out this New York next. He's my next target. I think I can take him out. He's burning. He's low health. That is enough damage. I could take him out in 1 salvo. Although he is healing, so maybe not quite. It's unlikely that I will take him out this salvo. But I want... Well, maybe. People reduce his health. And yes, we got him. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, that's great. But we have a destroyer capping our B cap, and now we're even on ships, but they have two destroyers. So I'm really not sure what to do. Pushing into destroyers, I don't have any more heals. So that's where the 5 heals comes in handy, right? If I didn't have that extra heal, I would be in trouble. I don't know why, but the 5 heals has just come in so handy so many times for me. So on fire. I really don't want to be on fire. I don't have any more heals. I can't repair that damage, so I will end that. Hopefully it doesn't hit the island, and nope, it goes over. Boom! That was actually kind of crappy. 6,400, that's not a whole lot. Farragut's still healthy. Our cruisers did not do their jobs, because now we got to deal with destroyers. They have all 4 caps. I don't think it's going to be another win. What a crazy battle, huh? Oh my. We're gonna fire at him anyway just to see if we can get something on him. And not quite enough lead, but we did get 1 hit. But we're gonna need a couple more hits than that to take him out. Their battleships are both pretty healthy. I just, I don't see this gonna be a win. I just don't. Oh my. Honestly, it's been a while since I played this game, so I don't know how exactly it ends, but I don't think it ends well. But I guess we'll find out. Normandy, we're going to fire at him as well. We're aiming, trying to look. I went above the island just to see where his hull was, and then I dropped down to make sure I was aimed at his hull. We're going to hit him. He's still so healthy, though. I need like a citadel or something. Nothing? Okay, I don't think I gave him enough lead or something. I don't know. Maybe I didn't aim those shots very well, but nothing even hit him, so that's great. I'm getting shot at by their battleships. I mean, I'm really not taking any damage from their destroyers, but our battleships, they're all clustered right in the same spot. Look at all of them. And they're charging into 2 destroyers, and I just don't think this is going to end. Yep, 996. If the battle lasted longer, maybe. Maybe. But the way it was, I don't think we would have survived any longer. But anyway, let's take a look at the post-battle results. So that first game, 167,000 damage, 538,000 credits. I'm pretty sure I was running some sort of credit flag and maybe camouflage or something. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I actually don't remember. 3 achievements. We got Devastating Strike, High Caliber, and Confederate, which is great. 5 Citadels. Very respectable. Very respectable game. Team score wise, I was top with about 500 more base experience than the next person on our team. So, yay me, right? Honestly, though, when you have matches like that, you know you did your part when you have that kind of experience. It's a really big shame that was a loss. The last screen, if you want to look at it, and for the second game that we played, we did a total of 145,000 damage. Got 6 Citadels that battle, right? Is that 6? Yep, 6 Citadels, 78 hits, 6 kills, and 5 fires with a Confederate, a High Caliber, Kraken Unleashed, Fireproof, and is that... what's the last one? Is that High Caliber? Yeah, Confederate, Dreadnought. Oh, it's High Caliber, Dreadnought, Kraken Unleashed, Fireproof, and High Caliber. Okay. And the last screen, or the team screen rather, 1,300 base experience, and the next person on the team did a whopping 600. Oh my, you cannot make this stuff up. But I mean, these kind of battles, even when they're losses, they're so rewarding because you're like, you know, I failed, but I did a good game. So yeah, we lost, but we contributed the best we possibly could in that battle. They were pushing hard on that flank. We held that flank the entire battle. I mean, they started pushing a little bit more, but we just kept pushing back against them. We were retreating, obviously, but by kiting away, we were reducing the amount of damage we were taking, and we were taking ships out. We took out the Dallas, and we took out other stuff. So we did our part for sure. and the last screen if anyone cares about that last screen. So, with that being said, I would love to thank you all for watching. Um, yeah, and if you like this battle and this video, please give it a like. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the Arizona. Am I crazy? Is the Arizona really quite bad? Or have you guys noticed that the Arizona is one of those maybe less talked about gems in this game? With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.